Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. By the shop, I mean like my actual shop here in Ohio. I'm gonna do a quick, well, we can do as detailed as you want, update on the Lemons race from this weekend. I just noticed my collar is jacked up back there. We had an absolute blast. It was not anything that was super easy or without issue. It was not all puppy dogs and rainbows, but it was fun as hell. Hang on, I gotta tilt down because we're all looking at the ceiling here. There we go. That's better when I stand back. Okay, that's better. So, like I said, it was not all puppy dogs and rainbows. I'll kind of go through the weekend. I did update you guys a little bit from the other night. The drive up, pouring rain, really cold rain, on the verge of grapple, and our tow rig was not set up to haul the car and trailer and a whole bunch of supplies and stuff. So it was very slow going. Thankfully, Mid Ohio is very close. It's less than an hour from here, so made that trip. It was a little sketchy, but it was fine. And we know to have a much better tow rig next time. So got up there and got our spot, and they packed us in very tight. Mid Ohio, if you want to be in the paved area, you got to go kind of a tight spot. So we literally had a 20 by 40 spot, and that was it. And the people next to us, they barely had a 20 by 40 spot too. And on the other side too, it was a tight fit. And but they were all super cool. All of our neighbors. We've never paddocked next to someone who was an asshole or someone who was unreasonable. Everyone, and that goes for all of our Lemons events. Everyone we've talked to at Lemons has been super cool. We've never had any problems there. So definitely go to a Lemons event if you get the chance. On Saturday, got to run some laps in the car, but we started having some electrical issues, and that's why we were not live streaming, is because we were not getting full power to the inverter. Now, we run a full computer system in the MR6. It's actually a PC that runs our digital dash and that does all of our live streaming. And that power inverter that goes from 12 volts to 120 volts AC, it requires a full 12 volts. The problem is we were not sending a full 12 volts to the inverter. We were only sending 11.3, 11.5. That is not enough to power that inverter, to have it kick on and give enough juice. We found this out later on, but that was why we were not live streaming from this race. So again, I apologize for that. That is something that will definitely be corrected before the next race. We'll probably do some testing. So if you guys see stuff pop up and then it gets deleted, don't freak out. It's just testing the streaming system in this. The good news is we sorted out most of the electrical stuff on Saturday evening, and we had an oil cooler sandwich plate issue on Saturday, where the sandwich plate holds the oil temp sensor, oil pressure sensor, and then there's two lines that come out of the bottom that are for the oil cooler. Excuse me, that's a separate piece. And it does what it says. It cools the oil in the car. We run a couple of extra quarts, and that helps the car run a little bit better. So it's a nicer way to do it. The car originally came with an oil cooler, but it was kind of hokey, and it was more for looks than for anything, because it was designed as a commuter car engine. It's not for, it's not for an endurance race, and it's definitely not for big horsepower or anything like that. So it's one of those things. If you add an oil cooler, you're going to extend the life of the engine, and you're going to help it run a lot better, especially for a race like this where you're really hammering. So this one I was really adamant against, and I was super stressed about it, but it actually worked out. Excuse me. We ran without an oil cooler on Sunday. And this was only because I had the laser thermometer and we were checking after every session, making sure intake temp was okay, block temp, header temp, all of that stuff was within spec. And believe it or not, we were actually pretty good. We ran about a quart extra, a little bit more than a quart extra, just to help with that cooling. And it seemed to work okay. Do I want to run all weekend with that? No. We're definitely going to get the oil cooler system fixed and set up correctly and not leaking. So we have the electrical system and the oil cooler system that will get redone. Fortunately, I had an awesome team. Craig and Jeremy and Ted and Liz and everyone jumped in and did what they could when we're pulling the alternator out. We're taking the sandwich plate off. We're trying to find O-rings and fittings and all this other stuff. So we had a great team. Everyone stepped in. For a couple of the sessions, we used the battery from Liz's Jeep because we were charging the battery in this because that was on Saturday because the fusible link had blown, so we weren't getting charged back from the alternator. And so, yeah, it was kind of complex, but we figured it all out. And then on Sunday, we did one of the most redneck moves, very Lemons-esque. We took our fusible link. Jeremy came by the shop on his way back up to the track on Saturday morning and stopped by here and pick up some stuff. One of the things he got was a huge blade fuse. It's a 60 amp, and he drilled a couple of holes in it. And then when we got to the track, he brought the rivet gun with him, and we riveted the, this is so funny. We riveted the cables from the alternator to the battery. We riveted them to the fuse, wrapped it on electrical tape, and kind of hung it from the strut tower bar. That was our fusible link, and it sounds very hokey, and it sounds very, in the middle of a firefight in the Middle East, but it worked really well. Now, here's the good part: car started up, it ran about just under 12 volts. We couldn't, again, didn't have the screen on. We don't have a shift light. We don't have anything else when we don't have the screen. So we were about 11.7, 11.8. We got really, really close. And that was enough for the car to run. Now, this car runs fantastic. The Camry engine, the 1MZ, has a ton of power and a ton of torque, believe it or not. Camry engines have a lot of torque. And in this car, it works really well. One of the things that a lot of us, the 5 drivers, we struggled with was fourth gear. So that is something we're definitely going to have to dial in next time, before we go race, because it would have to be a shift and you would sort of push towards the outside. If you went too far, it tries to go in reverse and you grind. So you got to find that nice slot. Now, a gate would work really well, but what we really need to do is adjust that linkage a little bit, because second does just fine, but going into fourth, we need to adjust that where it allows you to kind of come straight back from third instead of at an angle, because you have G forces and you're getting pulled one way. So if you're doing a hard right, you're getting, pulled that way and you miss shifts. Same thing going hard left, and you can miss it and go into reverse or come closer and go into second. So it's one of those things you got to dial in that shifter a little bit. When the new engine went in, the shifter cables, even though they were set, they were, you still have to tweak them a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. It's one of those little tiny things. Make those little adjustments. We have a nice list of stuff we have to do on the car. Then it came to Sunday. Let me tell you about Sunday. This car ran so great. Everyone got sessions, which is really great. Liz got a couple of sessions. Ted got a couple of sessions. Jeremy got a couple of sessions. Craig got a couple of sessions. I got one session, and I finished off the day for all of us, and I'll show you what happened. Now, someone told me that I was running a 154, which for this car at Mid-Ohio is really great. That's cooking. That's cooking pretty good, and I'm very happy with the one. Anything sub 2 minutes in this car, I'm very happy with. We were running the pro course, so no bus stop. I'm really happy. 240 horsepower, 154. I'm good with that. No problem. That's a 20 How much does a car weigh? Car weighs 2,367 pounds without the driver. So we're almost 2,500 pounds with fuel and driver. Um, and that's the other thing. We don't have a gas gauge. So we're still, that's another thing we have to do. That's on the list as well. So I go out for my session. I'm having an absolute blast. Look over at the clock. I've got about 5 minutes left in my session before I come in and we check temps and someone else goes out. This is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we've only got a couple hours left before checker. And I come up to Keyhole and I'm pushing the car pretty hard. And Mid-Ohio is a very, very familiar track for me. So I know that's a double apex turn. I know kind of where to hit. Now they've repaved it since I've been there. So all of my favorite marks that I used to hit when I was in the Viper or the Neon, those are all gone. So I have to kind of relearn, where the cool little spots are. But thankfully I had, really great training and I do have a ton of laps up there. So getting those marks back was really good. It was actually pretty easy. I came through Keyhole, blew that first apex, went for the second apex, got on power, and the whole car, all 4 lug studs on that side. I'll show you guys the wheel. You guys will appreciate this. All 4 lug studs left the chat at once, and the car dropped down. The wheel got caught under the car and slid and lifted up and bounced. So the car drops down on the suspension, and I spun 360 degrees, and I'm heading back towards the grass. Now the control arm is down on the ground, so it's dragging, and that was kind of my anchor. And I aimed the car towards the grass and got off track. So I'm not going to disturb anyone, behind me. Thankfully there was no one, behind me that was like right on my ass. So when I did spin, I went right off track and people were able to go by. The safety crews, I can't say enough about the safety crews. At all the Lemons events, the safety crews and all these tracks that we go to, these guys are badass. They are there. My hand's out the window. I give the thumbs up, yellow caution. Great. These guys were there. I don't know. They were only there. I was only there for a couple of minutes. The crew comes over. They get me out of the car and they get me in the safety truck. And the guy tells me, "You can take your helmet off now." I'm like, "Nope, I'm far too embarrassed. I got to leave it on." And he laughed and the other guys laughed. And then the rollback comes and takes my car. They grab the wheel because I spun. And when I came to a stop, I kind of looked over and out of the peripheral vision, because I still have the Hans on in the helmet. I see my tire roll past me, and he rolled right into the little barricade and bonk and plopped down. And I was like, "Oh shit, I killed the car." And I thought I had released the center section of the wheel, and that's what had broken. But when I saw the wheel, I saw it was whole, which means something bad happened. I removed a hub. I destroyed an axle, whatever. So I was kind of worried about that. But I'm in the safety truck, which is a Honda Ridgeline. I'm in the back seat. And, these guys are awesome. The rollback comes in, pulls it in, and the guys struggle a little bit because it's, rear-wheel or mid-engine car, so he didn't know which way to do it. Anyway, get in the safety truck. We go back to the paddock, and we find out that all 4 lug studs had sheared off. And it was literally at once. There was no warning. I didn't have any wobbles or back end coming out or anything like that. It all happened at once. So we're in the paddock and we're kind of done because I don't have any lug studs. I don't have any way to press them in. So, and with only 2 hours left in the race, there's no way to do that in time. So how the hell do we get the car onto the trailer? We don't have any way to like drag it up there. So my suggestion was to pull the brake caliper and pull the rotor. And that way we can get the wheel deeper onto the hub. And we can use a couple of lug nuts from one of the other. I think you can see we're missing, wait, nope, they're from the other side. We're missing a couple of lug nuts from the other side because the other lug nuts are somewhere up off the track outside of Keyhole. Take a metal detector. You're welcome to go find them, and I'll sign them if you want. So I'll sign your nuts. There you go. You guys can take that one. So we got that on. We started pushing it onto the trailer, and two other guys from a couple cars down in the paddock, they're like, "Oh, someone needs help pushing." And they came over, and like now the car's doing like 15 miles an hour onto the trailer. We're like, hey, whoa, slow down. We don't have anyone in the car. So it's like, I don't want to get crushed. It was cool. It's nice to see teams helping other teams out like that, especially when, you're kind of done for the race and that's kind of it for your day. It's nice to have the camaraderie like that. And you see a lot of guys backing other guys up. We were loaning tools out. The guys next to us with the Saab, they had a Saab 9000 CSE, which is it's kind of a cool car, but you don't usually see it at the track. They had tri-spokes on it. I mean, come on, that's kind of cool. They were super nice, and they really helped us out a lot with trying to remember. They had a really nice O-ring set, and we tried O-rings for the oil cooler. They had some nice stuff, and they helped us. Cool dog. They had a cool dog there too, so we got to pet that dog. And yeah, they were very, very, very nice folks. And I watched the guy, their like lead mechanic guy, change out the front hub in like 5 minutes. He absolutely knew what the hell he was doing. He was fast, man. And they used our brake clean to help clean the hub. So it does. What goes around comes around with Lemons. And that happens in most track events until you get into like the super competitive, like like F1 or IndyCar and stuff. And then nobody talks to anybody else. It's all secret. But at Lemons and NASA and SCCA and SVRA, most of those guys they're pretty cool. So you don't have that ultra, no, I'm not going to help you thing. Everyone's cool about it. So that kind of finished off the weekend. We left about, I guess, just before the checker. I guess we left like right at about 4. Came back here, unloaded the car, unloaded all the gear. Jeremy came back, he brought my Jeep, which was at his house south of town. And I unloaded his truck and parked the trailer, and Jeremy and his girlfriend took off. And I put the car on the lift, looked around underneath, and it is exactly like I thought. And I'll take the computer over there and show you guys. I'll give you a little better shot of what happened, and you can see what the wheel is doing currently. Car would run and drive right now. It would be very, very awkward, and it would make some odd noises, but it would run and drive. So we had a great time. A couple other things. I saw my friend Jake, who's done a ton of Lemons racing, and that was really good. Really nice to see Jake. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and he's kicking ass at life. So thanks, Jake, for stopping by and saying hi. It was great to see you. And best of luck on all of the new stuff. This was his last Lemons race for a while. So more power to you, man. Go kick ass at life and enjoy everything. It's a big world out there, and enjoy it. And I got to see my buddy Austin, who I haven't seen in a while. He's got a cool YouTube channel. He does a lot of fun stuff over there. Austin came by, and he interviewed Jeremy about Nimbus, the flying Nimbus Datsun he's got. And then he came over and checked out the car. And I know Austin wants to go Lemons racing, so I'm going to hook up with him and talk to him about, tech, safety, costs. They say it's a $500 car. What you're looking at right now, according to Lemons rules, $151. According to, I don't know if you guys can see it up there, but there is a red book right about there on top of my toolbox. That red book has over $25,000 in receipts. And that does not include a minute of labor to give you this car. So that's, Lemons is a $500 car, but I'm over 25 grand in this. And I'm not the fastest car out there. So if you want a cheat code for Lemons, go get an E36. Throw in a gigantic 6-cylinder, all the suspension shit you want. Everyone rips in the E36s. They're everywhere at Lemons, and they absolutely hammer down on those things. So if you want cheat code, Miata E36. If you want to be original, do do an AW11 MR2. If you want to be original, do a Saab 9000 CSE. If you want to be original, do a what those guys have. They have a Chrysler Cordoba with rich Corinthian leather. And you know, that's what the Lemons folks want to see. And that's when you have fun, when you see these crazy, you know, somebody brought a Cadillac Eldorado with a North Star in it, and they ran that. They actually ran it all weekend. It didn't blow up, which is pretty cool. So bring the original stuff. They like to see that more than they like to see E36s and Miatas. Another person that I ran into who I always love seeing at Lemons is Kim Harmon, and she's one of the big wigs at Lemons, and she's super cool. If you go to a Lemons race, get a chance to talk to Kim. She's always very busy when she's doing that, but if you can catch her on Friday, definitely say hi. She's super awesome, and she knows tons of stuff about Lemons. So very, very cool people. All the people who work for Lemons are really cool. They're really nice. So you know, talk to Tim, talk to Eric, talk to Jay if he's there, talk to Kim. All these people are really, really nice. So I'm going to show you guys what's up with the wheel back here. Wait, where is it? Come back right there. I'm going to show you guys the rear wheel, and we'll call it a night. I've got a million things to do because I fly back to Florida tomorrow. So let me wheel you around here. And first off, I forgot. Oh, that's right. I still don't have a sponsorship, bastards. I'll put this in a safe spot. And I'll bring you guys back here. So this is my dolly shot. Except my dolly's very heavy right now. So I might have to tilt down a little too. Or you know what? I don't have to tilt down. I got this thing. Takes a second, but worth it. All right. So here's our rear wheel. By the way, I've removed all the graphics. And everyone is like, hey, who the hell is Brian Till and Tommy Byrne? That's why I removed all the graphics. Nobody knew who they were. There was, there's what, 1,000 people there this weekend? I think 3 people knew who those guys were, which is really disappointing. These are all hardcore racers. We're at Mid-Ohio, where those guys instruct. They're the lead instructors. They had awesome professional racing careers. What did I miss? And then I got a little bit of redemption today, just a tiny bit of redemption. Mid-Ohio sports car course on Instagram posted a picture of the MR6 with the Burn and Till Gastropub graphics, and they thought it was great. A little bit of redemption for a super obscure reference that should not have been super obscure. So a little bit. So I'll show you guys what happened on Sunday. There we go. Come a little bit. Maybe if I do like a cool angle, you get a better view of this. Hang on, I'm going to put gloves on because it is gross. Oh yeah. I hyperextended. You guys, I don't think you guys can see it. There's some grease right there. I hyperextended the CV joint. So here's our really nice 949 racing wheel, which was really nice until, ooh, that powder coat got chipped. And this is what we can do with it now. Yeah, look at that. That is not 4-wheel steering. And if you look right here, you can see the studs are totally snapped off. So back here we have, you guys can't really see it. Let me bring you over here. Yeah, oh yeah. See this? This is where the tire cleared. When it came off, it went, brink, came right here. And then this guy hanging down, he actually goes all the way over on this side, and he's supposed to connect to this tie rod end right here. He's supposed to go like that, which you guys can't really see. Hang on. Let's get this up a little bit more. I don't have a light, but that's a longer story. So. Okay, so this is how we ended up. This tie rod end for our rear. He's supposed to come over here. So this snapped off. And when the lug snapped off, this guy broke. And the wheel came back, and this is where it clearanced. You can sort of see it up here where the tire and wheel clearanced when it fell. And extended the CV joint on the axle because that's what's leaking a little bit of grease down here. So I have to replace this tie rod end. This guy is fine. I obviously have to get this out of here, which is going to be fun because he's bent really bad. But these control arm, these adjustable tie rod guys are awesome. So I'd like to keep those. And obviously you have to get new hub and new studs. So yeah, not too thrilled about this, but that's what we get. Hey, Sue, who's here? Oh, hey, Nikki. Yeah, Nikki, I'm actually back at my regular shop. So I'm gonna bring the car back down because I got to come back tomorrow and do stuff with the car and the shop. So give me a second here. Yeah, Nikki, here you go. That's what I did yesterday, and I did it pretty good. I don't know what that is. There you guys go. The good part is the spindle is actually okay, and I think our BC, I think our coilover is okay too. Obviously, got to check that. The bolts didn't come out. They didn't come off spec. So the bolts didn't come loose for the coilovers. So we should actually be okay on those. And it's a little Frankenstein with the seals. Sorry. It takes a little while to come down. It's going though, I promise. The car's not very heavy. When you have a heavy vehicle, it just drops right away. This car's not very heavy, so it's like do. So get it back down on the ground. There we go. There we go. So we're done with the lift right now. What else is here? Oh, it's 4-wheel steering now. Yeah, I wish it was 4-wheel steering, and this is what we're supposed to do, and this is the mechanical fun, cool part of racing this stuff, but it's not supposed to have 4-wheel steering. So that's kind of a downside. It's okay though. Everyone got out there. Everyone had a great time. Sunday, we were throwing down sub 2-minute times. And I know I wasn't the only one. I'm sure Craig was also sub 2 minutes. I'm sure Jeremy was sub 2 minutes. And Dollars to Donuts, Ted was sub 2 minutes too. Liz, it was her very first time on track. Like, very first time, first off, driving this car. She'd never driven the car before until Sunday. Her first time on track, first time in that car. No autocross, no HPDE. She had some sim time, so she knows the course, but that was it. So Liz actually kicked ass. Was she the fastest driver out there? Nope. But she got it done and brought the car back in one piece. That's saying a lot for, I've seen a lot of people go out and think that they are AJ Foyt, and they take their car out and they push way too hard, way too fast, way too early, and then they beer can the car. And in a race like this, that kind of kills everyone's weekend. So Liz did everything right. She paced up. She started off slow and worked her way up and got quicker and quicker and quicker with each lap, which is exactly what you want to do. So for future races, I'd really like to have another rookie on the team so that we can watch. For me, watching that advancement is great. I love seeing that someone who's never raced wheel to wheel before, seeing them progress and turn into a better driver, throughout the weekend. That's what I think we'll do that in the future. We'll try and have a rookie driver, on each team. Now I do have a second Lemons car. I do have the Monza. So I'm also going to try and do 2 cars at the next event. So we'll do the MR6 and we'll do the Monza. I'm going to try to do that. It's very expensive. It's like $5,000. So we'll try and figure out how to do that. The Monza is in great shape. We just need another set of wheels and tires, and we're in good shape with the Monza. It's got a bulletproof engine, and I have a spare bulletproof engine in case this one gets a bullet in it. And we need a fuel pump for that car, and it's ready to go. So hopefully we can do two cars next round. It'd be great. We got to get Nikki in the driver's seat too. We got to get Nova in the driver's seat. Okay, I know that's down the line, but in 16 years, hopefully I'm still doing this, and hopefully Nova's like, yeah, let's go race. Actually, I can't remember if it's 16 or 18. I'll have to check with Lemons. For some reason, I think it's 16. Anyway, we'll keep doing fun stuff like this. I love doing this, but we'll see how long it lasts. Another fun part about being here in the shop is remembering the other stuff that I need to take to Florida. And I'm debating on this, and I'll look for comments from you guys, and you can let me know. I might put it on social media tomorrow too, just for fun, because it's one of those things. It's so stupid, but I'll just ask it anyway. So, hood ornament for the limo. This is the original hood ornament. Do I put it back on? Do I put it back on the limo? This is the horse. He is not anatomically correct, but he is gigantic. Just for reference, let me see if I can find something. How huge this thing is. Okay, you guys know how big a Rockstar can is. Look how huge this horse is. And this is this would go where the Cadillac logo normally goes. So if you guys think I should put this back on the limo, let me know. Shoot me a message, leave a comment here. I think the limo is ridiculous enough that this now works pretty well. You guys will have to let me know. He's cast aluminum, so he's not that heavy. There you go. A little bit of quick detailer. You should shine up nice. So if you guys think I should put that back on the limo, definitely let me know. That's about it from the shop for this round. We're going to do a lot more racing, but I'm going back to Florida, so we're going to do a ton more stuff at the limo. We also have Vipers at Tail the Dragon, and I'm taking the Grom up there and possibly my other motorcycle to do some riding. The few days, we're going to go up there early, so we're going to do some few days before the Viper folks get there, but I'm going with some Viper folks. So might do some motorcycle riding before the big event. And then after that, we've got, we really want to take the MR6 to NCM, which is National Corvette Museum. It's a track across the highway from the National Corvette Museum, which is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. If you haven't been there, if you have, just go Google it. It's a crazy looking building. And we'd love to do the Chinese C8 theme again, which I think would be really appropriate. So that would be the next one we're shooting for, and that's in a few months. And a ton more stuff. We've got Miata stuff and other Viper stuff coming up. So I'm going to keep bringing you guys stuff, and hopefully you have suggestions too. Like I said, if there's something you guys want to see specific, whether it's engine or wiring or suspension or brakes or whatever, send me a message and I'll try and do a detailed live stream on, how steering works, or, how to wire up fog lights or whatever it is. Shoot me a message and I'll try and do something detailed. I think that's about it for the shop tonight. I had an awesome time this weekend. I had a really nice day today, and going to get some more stuff done tomorrow before I hop on a plane. And I will catch all of you from nice, sunny, not frozen Florida. Although it's pretty nice out here. I know it's not going to last. You guys know it's not going to last too. None of this shit's going to last. It says it's 70 degrees in the shop right now. It's Ohio. Nope. It could snow tomorrow. So, that's how it goes. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks to all the new subscribers, you guys signing up. I'm glad you're enjoying what I'm doing here. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. I love teaching, and it's a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are loving learning and joining me on this. Also showing me some cool new stuff too. So if you have questions, comments, whatever, definitely put them down there. I'm easy to get in touch with. Shoot me a text, whatever. And I will catch you guys from Florida. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them. But look at that thing. It's far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will see you from, I'll see you. Let's see, I get back tomorrow night. So probably Wednesday or Thursday, we'll do something from the shop. We'll do some limo stuff. We'll check on the pull and see how the horse fits in. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Cool. I don't know. I kind of like the horse. Maybe we just swap them out in different events. It could be fun.